This passage from Joshua chapter 5 reminds me of special meals that I've shared. Times when I've sat down at table with people I care a great deal for, family and friends, and been able to have a wonderful feast of all the special dishes we enjoy. I'm sure you can think of meals that have been similar for you. But this passage has another dimension to it. This passage talks about the end of a long journey the Israelites have taken since they left Egypt, where they were slaves. They left because God came and claimed them as his people and told them that he had a land for them, a special place they would call home, that would be flowing with milk and honey. Believing God's promises, they went into the desert, across the wilderness for 40 years, eating only manna and quail every day. And they have come finally across the Jordan River to this place that they call home. They planted their crops, they have celebrated the Passover, and now this passage marks that first time that they are able to eat from the land that God gave them, the crops that they have grown, the very first fruits. And they are celebrating because they know indeed that God has provided for them, that God has kept his promises. It reminded me, too, of a meal that I shared shortly after I arrived in Maumee Valley Presbytery in 2005, and they found out that I could speak Spanish. They asked me to work with a group of Mexicans who had come in to one of our PCUSA churches. They said, "We were Presbyterians in Mexico. We want a place to worship and be part of things here." And so the Presbytery welcomed them and asked me to help. I spent a lot of time with them and grew so much as I saw the vibrancy and vitality of their faith and was able to enjoy the fact that they thought nothing of 2 hours in worship with God together. One day after I'd done some work with them, the women came to get me and took me into the parlor where they had prepared a special meal for me in appreciation. I was amazed to see that they'd each made their own specialties from where they had come from, and they wanted to give those to me because in their minds I was someone whom God had provided, a sister in faith who spoke their language and could help welcome them into this new place. They called it home, and we became a family. But that meal was a symbol of so much more for me, hopes and dreams, and being able to know that God provides and God keeps his promises. I'm hopeful that as you think about this passage, you'll think of times, whether they are meals or other ways, in which you also have discovered how much God provides and how God keeps his promises to us through all the years.